This time 19 years ago, Adriano Liete Ribeiro was on top of the world. For a generation of fans, Adriano was going to be the heir to Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo. This was a footballer with the same combination of blistering pace with power, nimble footwork, a type of player that you would generate on a football game, and that game that you may know of is Pro Evo. Anyone that played Pro Evo during the same time period would know exactly how good Adriano was, and sadly, looking back in his career, this is somewhat his legacy. The year is 2003, and at Parma, Adriano scored 8 goals in 9 Serie A matches. This was enough to earn him a big money move to Inter Milan, where it appeared that all the stars aligned for Adriano to become the biggest star in the game. It was inevitable. Years on, going back to 2019, after living a lifestyle perhaps not suited to an elite sportsman, to an elite athlete, he now spends most of the time back in Brazil. This is where it could be found looking the happiest, riding around on scooters with his friends, handing out Big Macs to local kids, and of course, drinking. A video can be found here of him just on the back of a bike, drinking alcohol, talking to the local kids. Now, of course, who am I to tell someone how to live their life? And if he is happy, then that is the most important thing. However, the main tragic side of this is simply how he was seen to be potentially one of the greats, and due to a tragic event in his life, it all seemed to fall apart. So with that said, let's go into the tragic tale of Adriano. Tell me your thoughts down below, smash a like if you guys do enjoy, and subscribe if you're new. And let's get into it. If you're looking for the perfect football gift for yourself or a family member or a friend, then go down below to mazzoladesigns.co.uk, my own design company, and use code YouTube for 15% off. Prints, mugs, shirts, we do the lot. Let's get into the video. So for this video, I tried to look up the most recent article about Adriano, and this is the most recent one. On the 10th of June 2023, this was the article by Marca. Inter and Brazil legend Adriano misses the Champions League final after partying. He was invited by ESPN to commentate on the Champions League final, after of course his links to Inter Milan. However, he missed this opportunity due to missing his direct flight from Rio de Janeiro to Istanbul, due to the fact he went to 3 different parties the night before. So it seems like not too much has changed. Adriano, otherwise known as the Emperor, was born on the 17th of February 1982 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Like many in his local area, he lived his childhood as a street kid from a very poor family, and like many young Brazilian children, they were used to one thing: football. Playing football in their bare feet in the dirt is common in Brazil, and was even given a name as the popcorn boy during his time period. The stories of many footballers are kind of similar to one another, that typically they see football as an escape from their current lifestyle, and they see it as a way to potentially make it and to bring their family with them, and this is no different, as his dream was to become rich and famous, to own a big car and to buy his family a house, to get him and his family out of the situation that he found themselves in and were born into. In 1999, he was put into the Flamengo youth squad. Starting off as a defender, he then went into a striker's role due to his power. In the 01-02 season, he got his move to Inter Milan from Flamengo, impressing many people with his height and power on the ball. Despite being very young, he was always seen as the second to R9 Ronaldo, a fierce Brazilian combination at Inter Milan, and Ronaldo helped him massively in his adaptation to Europe. During his time in Italy, he was known as the Emperor, showing speed, physical strength, dribbling, and of course, an incredible amount of power behind that left boot. In the 2004-05 season, Adriano scored 28 goals, and throughout his 2.5 years at Inter Milan, he scored 59 goals, and of course had the status of being one of the only ever players to have a 99 shot power rating on Pro Evolution Soccer. This was quite a big deal, and coincidentally helped only boost his legacy and reputation across the world. So what happened to Adriano? And this is where the story gets a bit dark, and you likely already know about this if you've looked into it. On July 25th, 2004, Adriano scored a stoppage time equalizer in the Copa America final. Adriano stepped up and scored his penalty, and Brazil went on to win the Copa America. Quoted after the match, "This title belongs to my father. He is a great friend in life, my partner. Without him, I am nothing." The tragic part of this is that only 9 days after this moment in Peru, his father, Almir, died of a heart attack, aged 45. This hit the 22-year-old Adriano hard. Caught by his teammate Javier Zanetti. Adriano had a father who looked after him a lot and kept him in line, but then something imaginable happened. He got a call from Brazil and was told his father had passed away. I saw him cry. He threw his phone down and started screaming. From that day on, Marathi and myself decided to take him in like a brother and protect him. Adriano had a fiery personality, which meant that he had to be kept in check throughout a lot of his childhood, and his father was the pillar stone of that, as courted by Adriano going back to the further weeks after his father's death. At that time, I only felt happy when I drank. My coach Roberto Mancini and my teammates noticed that I was hungover when I arrived for training, and I feared arriving too late, so I didn't sleep and went to training still drunk. He kept playing football, he kept scoring goals, and kept dedicating them to his father. However, after that phone call, nothing was the same. Ivan Cordoba, the Colombian centre-back, went to Adriano, saying that he is a mix of Ronaldo and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He could be the best player ever, and even with the support around him, could never suck him out of his depression. 2 years went on to the 2006 World Cup. Brazil, of course, had a stacked team. While being raised in the favela in Rio de Janeiro, Adriano's friends that he made at childhood continued with him throughout his entire life, and these weren't particularly the best people to have around you. Adriano's inner circle had multiple criminal records due to drug trafficking. Some were in the Red Command, which was Brazil's biggest criminal gang. With all this money, all this fame, and without the support of his father behind him, it appeared that he had the freedom to make whatever choices he had, and made the choices around the wrong people surrounding him. Despite scoring twice in the 2006 World Cup, he had a poor performance in the World Cup quarter-final, as only at the age of 24, he would only go on to make 12 more appearances for the national team. 2006-07 season, he only went on to score 6 goals, and in 07-08, he started just as slowly. Sensing that the striker needed something new, back more to a more familiar and family-oriented setting, he went back and trained at Sao Paulo and agreed to join on loan for the rest of the season. He actually went on to score twice and was hailed as a hero by the Sao Paulo fans. However, it all went downhill quite fast. He was sent off for headbutting Santos fullback Domingos and fined by his club for arriving late at training. In 2009, he went to Flamengo and scored 19 goals to win their first national title in 17 years, showing that he is still a quality forward even when he's only playing on autopilot. In the words of Adriano himself, this is what he had to say when a journalist brought up the question of his father and its impact on his footballing career. I don't really want to talk about it, but I will tell you that after that day, my love for football was never the same. He loved the game, so I loved the game. It was that simple. It was my destiny. When I played football, I played for my family. When I scored for my family. So when my father died, football was never the same. To be honest with you, even though I scored a lot of goals in Serie A over those few years, and even though the fans really loved me, my joy was gone. It was my dad, you know? I couldn't just flip a switch and feel like myself again. I only ever felt happy when I was drinking. I'd do it every night. I drank everything I could get my hands on. Wine, whiskey, vodka, beer, lots of beer. His final goal came for low league American side Miami United. As Adriano now turns 41, it feels like only a lifetime away since he was back on top. Recent videos and recent images shows a man that seems relatively okay in the situation that he's in. And all in all, I do really wish him the best. Tell me your thoughts down below. Of course, I don't want this to become a sort of mocking of Adriano. It seems like in cultures, especially in Southern America, family is incredibly deep to one another, and of course his father was a massive pillar stone in his life. After looking on Twitter, you can see tweets of him as recent as July. Seems like a video of him promoting a website which I don't even know what it's for, but it seems like he's being paid to just promote something quickly, which is strange. But hey, hope he's okay, hope he's doing well. But yeah, that's the story of Adriano. Tell me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you next time.